Ever since I was little, I've suffered from a case of iconitis. I can build this, I can build that, I can change this, I can adapt this, I can make something more unique. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how many appliances I tore apart when I was younger that we had extra parts left over when I got them put back together, much to my mom and dad's chagrin. Sometimes they actually worked, even with the extra parts left over. Sometimes they didn't. So it's something that I've done. You know, I've been creative in a lot of different ways over the years. I've done a lot of graphics design, website design, planning different things. About 30 years ago, I designed a plastic clip that went onto the old radio and TV antennas that we used to have on our houses before, you know, the stuff we have now. That was designed to isolate the electromagnetic interference from the coax cables and the TV radio antennas. I went through the entire process of figuring out what that distance needed to be, came up with a design, was able to have the plates for injection molding put together, had a patent approved for it, and as I was getting ready to market it, the companies that produce coax cable realized, hey, we can shield this and completely eliminate that issue so that you can actually tie your coax cable directly to a metal pole and not have that interference that would always mess with the TV reception, radio reception, whatever else. And that happened just at the exact same time that I was getting ready to market my product to Radio Shack and a few other places. So, I mean, it was a very expensive learning process, but I learned a lot with it. And I've carried that through with woodworking and other stuff too. The video that you're going to see now is a K-Cup organizer that I decided to build. After looking online, everything that I saw was more than what I wanted to pay. Wouldn't really match the look that I wanted. And it was another case of, I think I can build this, have something that will work for what we need. So that's what you're going to see now. And there are some design changes I need to make. This ended up, this was a prototype. It was not intended to be permanent. One of my daughters now has it at her place, which works out perfectly for them. And when we replace our coffee system and need it, then I'll be building a whole new K-Cup organizer, and it should hopefully look a whole lot better than what I produced. But again, this is a prototype, and hopefully you enjoy watching me figure out what I'm going to do and plan everything out. Here I'm getting the board marked out for the rabbets that are going to be used to assemble the main storage tray for the K-Cups. And after double checking measurements, doing a test fit, making sure that everything is right, I can start planning for the dado that will be cut into these for the bottom panel. With the 1/4 inch dados cut out, I can now start getting the bottom panel planned out, get that cut, and make sure everything fits, lines up, and is the proper measurements. Here I'm marking out the center point for each of the sections that I need to cut out for the K-cup to actually sit in. If I remember right, I ended up using a 1 1/8 inch Forstner bit to cut the holes. There's a total of 25 of them, and getting the center point at the moment, making sure that everything is set. And now for the fun part of cutting 25 holes in the bottom of the drawer to accommodate the K-cups. This is where a drill press would have come in handy and would be a little bit easier, but I do have the portable drill press that I'm using, and it does the job. And as you can see, the K-cups fit in there just perfectly. They have about 1/8 of an inch on the bottom, and they'll fit very nicely and comfortably in their holder. And once again, I'm just verifying that everything still lines up, and make sure I didn't get any of the measurements off, and make sure the holes are actually where they need to be in the bottom of the tray. Here I'm cutting down the pieces that are going to form the extra compartment in the back, and cutting them down to the exact size that I need for the finished product. With most projects like this, I find it a lot easier to mark, cut, and fit as you go, instead of trying to pre-plan every single cut. Here I am cutting out a partial rabbet, stock rabbet, for the top shelf so it's inset, and probably need to find an easier way to do this, or a little bit better method. Definitely need to find a better way to put a stop on here and make sure everything lines up properly, but I was able to get things close enough where it wasn't much of an issue. After doing some chisel work and getting it cleaned up a little bit, getting the rabbets cleaned up, I'm able to get that nice sharp corner that I need for the top of the primary box to sit into. After spending about 2.5 to 3 hours of sanding, I got the inside portions of the box stained. That way I don't have to try and figure out how to do that while everything is put together, and just make it that much more difficult. And now it's time to start assembling. Here I'm just making sure that that center divider is actually at a 90-degree angle so it doesn't throw everything off, and looks like it's supposed to. I'm adding a few brad nails in the bottom just to help keep it together a little bit better while it's gluing. And since I'm not putting any nails on the side or anything else, so you'll never see any kind of nail holes or anything else once this is done. And after adding a few more brad nails on the back side, or on the back of it, now it's time to make sure the drawer still fits in, everything slides right, and get the top put on, and then double check everything once again. And as you can see, I managed to actually get my measurements correct, and everything works the way it's supposed to and looks the way it's supposed to. So now I can get ready to go ahead and get the top glued on and let this set for a little bit to let everything dry. After sanding everything down again to a 220, I reapplied the stain, got everything even, made sure that all the surfaces were coated, and got the coloring as close as possible. There is a difference in the different portions of the box because I'm using a combination of ash, maple, and oak. Just grabbing scrap that I had to see if this is something that would actually work for what I wanted.
Adding a coat of oil furniture to this will help be able to just keep it sealed and allow it to stay a little bit nicer, a little bit longer. Because this is more of an experimental piece for me, at this point I'm not adding a ceramic or anything else to it. So this is just going to be the straight oil, and we'll see how it looks after a few months. So far I've been really happy with the Black Forest furnish oil that I've been using. It really helps retain a lot of the natural color of the wood, and it spreads very easily, and I don't need a whole lot of it. So it's been really nice to work with, and I'm definitely going to be purchasing more in the near future. After a final rub down, letting it set for a little while, now we have the final product. I hope you enjoyed this and it gives you some ideas, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and if you could share this, that would be awesome. I would love to be able to get more subscribers and show more people some ideas of what they can do.